Here is my audience. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there is my presentation aid.
I might have a few more people coming in. All right.
There's my niece. Okay. So, have you ever heard of the movie Failure to Launch? A bachelor lives at home with his parents. He has never gained the intimacy status because he has never passed Erickson's intimacy versus isolation and the identity versus role confusion. So it is crucial for us as adults to gain autonomy and independence to be able to have a healthy intimate relationship. So in doing so, we must achieve the identity stage of Erickson's 8 theories. Since we are working adults and have families or want to build a family, we need to know about this in order to have a healthy relationship with our coworkers and to build a family one day of our own. In this speech, I'm going to persuade you to know that you must gain autonomy and independence in order to have a healthy relationship. We are going to explain this by knowing what the identity crisis is and knowing that we have to achieve it before we can have a healthy human relationship. We're also going to explain this by knowing that we have to have a healthy commitment in the identity crisis, or we are going to have a compromised identity status. And we're also going to know it by the fact that individuals who have a high vocational understanding and who can have organic situations, who can overcome the organic stress situation. So now that we know what we are going to cover, let's see what they are. First we are going to talk about the intimacy and how we must accomplish that role first. So characteristics of an individual who have accomplished this are those who have a sense of identity. They, according to the intimacy and identity status of young adults in 1982, have a closer relationship with their friends. If they do not achieve this status, then they are going to have isolated personalities. Also, they are going to be isolated in their social situations. So now that we know about the firm commitments and identity issues, we are also going to talk about the achievement statuses and the individuals who are not going to be alone. So we're going to talk about individuals who show an adjusted vocational choice and their psychosocial settings. According to Erickson's problems with vocational choices, the individual who has an adjusted vocational choice has a significantly more successful rate in their social situations than those who do not. We are also going to talk about vocational maturity and how it demonstrates a significant successful resolution of the identity crisis. So lack of intimacy can also lead to poor sleep health. Sleep is an influencing factor on stress and external factors, such as marital relationships, physical health, and those who do not have that social outlet are going to be isolated in their situations. Those who have an identity confusion are also inclined to have a trouble in the physical and emotional choice to have a close personal relationship with others. Erickson's stage of identity versus role confusion has shown in the nursing psychological health to have a high unresolved intimacy issues. So in proper accomplishment of the identity versus by a coherent sense of self. They also are not accomplishing the identity versus role confusion, in the indecisiveness, antisocial behavior. So now we're going to talk about the definition of the person who does not have the commitment on identity issues. The identity status in the comprehensive individual may have a commitment stress. They also may express their firm commitments. Those who do not have the firm commitments are going to have the antisocial behavior. So according to the Journal of Counseling and Clinical Psychology, the lack of intimate interpersonal conduct displayed by young adults, the result of successful physical and early adult relationships are severely declined. So in this speech, we've covered how we can have the identity crisis accomplished, or if we don't, then we're going to have intimacy issues that are unresolved. We've also talked about the firm commitments on identity issues and the compromised identity achievement status. We've also talked about individuals' high vocational maturity and those who can manage organic stress and the higher identity resolution. Because we are working adults and we might be building our families, we need to know this education because it's going to help us with our relationship with our coworkers, and it's also going to help us build our families one of these days. They're living at home with a bachelor, and failure to launch has its benefits. Mom's going to fold your laundry. He does not have the intimate relationship, and he cannot build on his intimacy versus isolation issues. Thank you for your time. And here is my audience. So here's my audience. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there is my, here is my presentation aid.